Today we're going to talk about building a multiplex. We discussed renovate versus build. Well, this is the build aspect. Build comes with a whole bunch of excellent advantages. Number one advantage, it's new. The useful life on this thing could be 20, 30, 50 years. You won't have to do much maintenance initially when you finish this product. So this is a good thing. The other real advantage is you have new tenants at market rent with new leases, and these are people you get to select, and you can build, the whole character of the building can be changed just by how you select the tenant. So this is a great advantage. And the third, which is equal to the others, is it's purpose built. So the design and the function of the building, the way people park, the way people do everything in this building has been thought of and designed correctly so that you can use it for what you intended. So those are huge advantages. The disadvantages is that you actually have to execute this plan. So that's a lot of work. The second is the cost. You have to really spend a lot of time and effort, energy to make sure costs are in line. And this leads to the third disadvantage. It's definitely more risk because of that. Let's get into this and we'll get into the details of building. Number one thing you have to do, locate the site. You can go, there's as of right zoning, there's typically lots of single family homes, and this abundance of homes, it means you can put this product in the most effective and profitable location for you. You typically purchase an unoccupied product. This eliminates the complexity of getting rid of a tenant later. However, you may want to play with this to lower your carrying costs, and you may have a tenant in place. But again, you just have, this is a case-by-case situation, and you need to deal with the complexities of getting rid of the tenant later when you go to build. The most important thing is the Proforma. This is the takeout Proforma for your takeout financing and how this building is going to operate. Part of this is you're going to put the highest and best use of the land and how many, let's say in this case, you're going to have to pick a build form, and then you're going to have to pick the right location for this build form, and that's how you're going to build your Proforma. I'm going to talk about doing a 5-plex in the city of Toronto, which is really 4 units as of right with a 5th on a minor variance. And the reason I go to a 5th unit is because at 5 units you can get a CMHC takeout. You would then put together a Proforma or a net operating income. So this is what we're trying to calculate. And for this you need your market rents, you need your market vacancies, your property taxes, your insurance, your utilities, your repair and maintenance, capital replacement reserve, snow removal, landscaping, advertising, property management. These are all the things you're going to put into your Proforma. Some of these expenses have industry standards, and you need to consult with your lender or your broker to figure what that would be, because if you're going to do CMHC financing, you'd want to make sure it's fitting those criteria. Now you can calculate your net operating income, which will then help you calculate your maximum loan amount, and this loan amount is actually going to turn into what your construction loan will be. Okay, so this is why you got to begin with the end in mind. So the end product can only hold so much loan. That's going to end up being your construction loan. So the next step in our process is to create your construction budget. So hopefully you have drawings or something to go off of. So you find out, you got to estimate the cost of your house, the carrying costs of the land, the hard costs, the soft costs, the financing costs, and the contingencies. These are basically what you're doing. Obviously, these come with great details, but this is something you need to keep in mind. If you're going to do this pro forma off of takeoffs, just like your standard square foot and basic drawings, your accuracy will be really low in terms of your budget. So you have to build in higher contingencies. So just keep that in mind. If you spend the time and energy and money to get proper architects and engineers and estimates with real contractors on working drawings, then your budget's going to be excellent, and you're going to have a better idea of what it really costs to do what you're doing. So you have to make a decision if you're going to spend more money up front before making your purchase. Obviously, if you're an experienced builder, maybe you don't have to worry about this as much. But if you're new at this, I suggest spend the money up front. Next step in the process is pretty simple. Once you've got your Proformas and you've figured out what you need and you've got the right area, you got to find the property, and you purchase, and you found your property. You just purchase it. You work through a realtor, and hopefully you found something that's within the budget. If you spend too much on your land, that's going to throw off your whole thing, and you may have to walk away from the property. Once you've selected the land, you've got it tied up, part of your due diligence, I would then hire your contractor, well, not hire, but at least select your contractors, your manager, your project manager, and various consultants. Also during your due diligence, I would build in you obtain your financing. And once you've obtained your financing, you've got all of your construction budget, and you've got your contracts in place. Then I would waive conditions on the property, and then I would start your building plan. Build out your fourplex in our case, then we would end up building out the 5th unit later on a minor variance, and afterwards as you do this, you're renting out the place. You end up with this 5-unit building that's just been recently constructed. This is when you now go for your takeout financing. You get a CMHC insured COI. The reason why you like to do this is because you're going to get 3.5% to 4% interest rates on 50-year amortizations or 40-year amortizations, depending on how you want to do it. So this is incredible financing, and this makes this, in our example, a very good way of doing it. We would have as minimal equity as possible with maximum return. And once construction is complete, you lease up, get your CMHC financing or your whatever takeout finance you have in place, and then you're off and you have a stabilized asset and you're just collecting income. And you're now a property manager.